The lexicon. Well, that doesn't help as a title. I cannot. Every time I say I don't want to guess what the SCP is, I do. But then there's SCPs like this where I'm just like, I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered to guess what it is. List of. Please don't be too long. Ooh boy, it's not long, but it's definitely it's definitely a decent read. I'm just a bit tired. I was out and about and it was ice cold today, and like the feeling when you go in and out of cold and hot environments, your body just gets like all like droopy. So that's how I feel right now. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to keep the energy high and flowing, and to be ready to read you guys some SCPs. Just be patient with me because I'm suffering a little bit. Okay. Euclid. SCP-1326 is to be contained in a standard size 19 containment cell with a box of used literature, example newspaper or magazines kept outside its cell. One magazine from this box is to be left within the SCP's containment cell as a precaution and must be replaced pending feedings. Every 3 weeks, a staff member is to feed the SCP by bringing the book kept inside the containment cell within 30 centimeters of the SCP's front cover and held in place until actively ceases. Then discard the magazine in question and replace it with another paper from the box outside SCP-1326 cell. Should the SCP release -2 due to failure to perform aforementioned procedure, SCP-1326 containment cells will be kept on lockdown until all instances return to SCP-1326, at which point lockdown may be lifted and the magazine absorbed during the event must be replaced ASAP. All readings of SCP-1326 contents must be performed by the class only, and any content deemed safe and/or useful to the Foundation is to be described and restored on the Foundation computer until Document 82. Okay. So you're feeding it words, basically. SCP-1326 is an ornate leather-bound hardcover book adorned with various moving parts on its front cover, including a circular number dial in its upper left corner and a semicircular dial in the lower left corner, and several jointed mechanical arms crossing over its center, ending in mechanical claws or circular lenses. SCP-1326 is secured by a lock on its right side, designed to fit a small key designated -1. SCP-1326 may only be opened by -1. Attempts to open the lock using pics or replicas of SCP-1326-1 have failed. The content of SCP-1326, I don't know why I keep wanting to say 1236. It's 1326, appears to have an encyclopedic collection of various works and articles all on diverse topics. The nature of these entries varies between known works by known authors, altered versions of known works, or unidentified works covering known or unknown material, some of which may be related to SCP under or out of Foundation custody. The content yielded by SCP-1326 when opened may be changed by inputting index numbers via the dials in the book front cover. These numbers do not appear to follow any sort of classification systems, as no correlation has been found between the index values and the contents they yield. List of works found within SCP-123. Okay. Like I said, this seems like a bit of a read, so let's... Sorry about the clap. I keep forgetting how sensitive the mic is set up to right now. Let's get this started, shall we? List of works found within SCP-1326 listed under the corresponding index number. Index numbers are inputted by rotating the dials on SCP-1326 cover to the desired values, pressing down on the dials until they click to register the change in position, then inserting SCP-1326. Then inserting -1 into its keyhole and locking SCP-1326. The circular and hemispherical dials are numbered 1 to 360 and AG, 1 to AG respectively, which each with each combination of number and letter corresponding to different content. Inserting multiple consecutive combinations of values has been found to yield different results than those yielded by the individual's combinations, and inputted values will continue to stack until SCP-1326 is opened. Due to the mass quantities of potential combinations, this document is considered incomplete and will be updated as new combinations are tested and the results recorded. So we have index, contents, notes. Okay. Index 36A. Content, English translation of Art of War by Sun Tzu. Translation was accurate and appeared to be formatted for casual reading. 12D. Zoologist's Guide to the Care and Feeding of Sea Scorpions, often unknown. Illustrated text explain how to properly raise Eurypterids, an extinct arthropod in captivity, written down to the standpoint of one experienced with their care. Writing style implies the books to be recent work despite Eurypterids having been extinct for over 250 million years. 1E, Latin translations of Elvis Presley songs, side-by-side presentation of song lyrics in English, Latin, and English pronunciation guide to Latin lyrics for ease of comprehension. Latin lyrics fit original music with little deviation. Can you imagine having an Elvis Presley song in Latin? That would be wild. 45G, Foundation document written by Dr. on various SCPs, exact replicas of documents lost during incident 1326-, as well as additional notes by Dr. not present in the original copies. 46G, autobiography of Dr. Life of Dr. recorded in great detail, recording up to the incident 1326, where it ceases abruptly, including a great deal of personal and private information about Dr., including his inner thoughts about various people and events encountered during his lifetime, as well as private moments. 172Z, Beginner Guide to Mimtic Kill Agent by Visa Assistant Green, managed only to read past the words Chapter 1, allow before suffering a grand mal seizure and dying of multiple brain aneurysms. God damn. All subsequent readings of SCP-1326 to be carried out by D-Class personnel only. 263F, pressed flowers of the Rosaceae family organized alphabetically by species name, then genus name. Every known genus of Rosaceae was represented in addition to several previously unknown variants. All specimens were bound into the pages of SCP-1326 by unidentified means and could not be removed or defaced. First recorded instance of SCP-1326 producing objects as part of its content. 45-E-45-G, The Secret Life of Centipede Nymphs, often unknown. Documentary of the culture and religion of the species of sentient semi-humanoid anthropods in the native habitat, accessed by accident after inputting the incorrect index for Dr. Notes, then inputting the correct index without opening SCP-1326, inputting multiple index combination into SCP-1326, found to yield different results from inputting other single combination. 1A, 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 1A. Are we there yet? Of unknown. The two sentences, are we there yet? No. Repeated exactly 40,000 times. 12G, 12C, 7F. 14 fun knitting projects by Illustrated Guide to 14 knitting projects written in child-friendly format. Notably, illustration and text indicate that people attempting to instead knitting project will have 8 fingers on each hand. Well, excuse me? How is that supposed to work? 9, 8, 12, 10C. Come on, Afro. Keep yourself together. You can do this. Do it for the people watching this on YouTube afterwards. Do it for them. They expect you to do this reading. They expect you to have a good time. Well, they hope that you have a good time. I hope that they hope that I have a good time. The Gentlewoman's Guide to the perpetration and proper servings of castaway squirts by Lady of Derbyshire. No such individual has been historically recorded. Description of how to capture, identify from human castaways and prepare for human consumption. Creatures resembling SCP-1014 also contains tips for ideal table settings while serving. I have a feeling that one is the cannibal, the silver platter that makes cannibal food. Croissant is a species of communicate that mimic humans and feed by pretending to have been known thrown overboard and then oh yeah, never mind. Yeah. No, never mind. Something else. That's not the right one. 238B, User Guide to Hogma Niche 8 with Rapidity by JustRail019R45R0722-110. User manuals describing the installation and capabilities of a piece of software in Niche 8 for a device, the Hogma, which allows the user to genetically modify hollow, undifferentiated plant material to produce cultivated plants with desired qualities. Rapidity may be a form of digital rights management. Textual clues indicate authorship by a non-human robot in the Canadian nation of world peace, triumphant in the year 112, approximately 2220 to 2250 by the Gregorian calendar. 35A, 35B, 35C, 35D, Moj Ulubioni, Marshanin, no author listed. Transcript of 15 episodes of My Favorite Martian, episode 157, 17, 22, and 38 to 47, translated into Polish. Retranslation reveals the adaptation as a highly faithful, save that all lines spoken by Ray Walston character Uncle Martin have been replaced with the lines spoken by Robin Williams' character Morg from Morg and Mindy. 180C, The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the earliest surviving literary words known to man. A bridge translation of the original Babylonian script written in modern English. Translation mostly accurate, save for the removal of some descriptive lines deemed redundant by the editors. We don't need that. We don't need this information from this ancient text. 111A, 111A. Engineering blueprints for unknown device of unknown. Visual blueprints for an elaborate robotic device somewhat resembling SCP 753. 753 was Automatic Artist. It's an automaton that's been badly damaged by the time, but still able to move and perform its main function, which is painting pictures, depending on how he put in his own death. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Vaguely, but I do remember it. Text exists, but it's not in any language which has thus far been translated by the Foundation. 12C, 13A, Common Application Format for a patent for the United States Patent and Trademark Office. By the United States Patent and Trademark Office, now filled out. 4G, Theological Material of the Church of the Hanging God, of unknown, Theological Material for an unknown religious cult, claiming that as life is suffering, all faithful should simply commit suicide to go directly to the afterlife. Notably, in a difference from most suicidal cults, the document claims it is a sin to attempt to kill others than faithful as a method of conversation. 9A, 10B, 11C, The Tale of the Theodora, the Teddy Bear of Unknown. A children's picture book involving the adventure of an anthropomorphic teddy bear named Theodora, normal apart from the ending, which a group referred to as secretive, creepy people kidnap Theodora. 238C, The Disinfection, Sterilization of Prime Contaminated Medical Instrument of an Unknown. 3 people, I don't know what it means. Pamphlet apparently adapted for public dissemination from original scientific research. CDC logo at top of first page. No other publication data given. 9A, 19G, Life Burst, Jack Williamson, science fiction novel printed by Del Rey, October 12, 1985. Matches published version apart from an absence of page numbers. God, there's so much. So much. 222G, 222G, The Ballad of the Untranslated Side of an Unknown. Apart from title handwritten in data expunged. On the inner cover, contents consistent entirely of unidentified symbols, vaguely resembling those carved into SCP-093s and illustrations apparently produced via oil paint showing a vaguely humanoid creature wearing robes which prevent observation of details based on the background details in said pictures. It is assumed that said humanoid is at least 4 meters in height. 359A, 260B, Poetry about Fish Fry Corporation. A solo poetry regarding fish, said poetry is generally of poor quality. 22B, 42C, 69A, Ballad of John Claxtophorn, Sick of Unknown. Contents were completely incomprehensible save for the title, archived for reference purposes. 22C, 99A, 1,200 ways to die involving fire but not involving a lighter, of unknown. A list of exactly 1,200 death scenarios involving fire. The word lighter or anything pertaining to a lighter was never mentioned in the list. 2A, 2G, 9G, Book of Long Shadows of Unknown, a collection of rhyming poems expressing human misery. Several sections are prefaced with a warning not to read the poems within aloud. 1A, De finibus bonorum et malerum sicero. The famous section, Lorem ipsum cuia dolores amet consectatur et Dipisci velit, begins at page 7 with the due of the initial Dolorum cut to page 6. The last page has a single phrase centered Vactum est. 5C, Novomundus Transcontinental Railroad, ticket types Novomundus Region Board of Transportation. 14 differing types of railroad tickets written in the older form of Latin. 12A, 13D, 1G, 20 flightless birds of the Ravelwoods are unknown. A gaboo referring to 20 species of flightless birds. Apart from the common turkey, none are present known to science, although if captured and would be considered to require SCP classification. 17F, Lord Blackwood meets the Dread Mother of Anonymous, describes the encounter of British explorer naturalist Lord Blackwood. We remember Lord Blackwood. We remember him. Wooden guy in the forest, like, oh, get out, wooden German guy. With SCP-593, yeah, and the Dread Mother, yeah. We know those guys. Or similar creatures surprisingly tasteful. 1B, pest control of the imaginative mind. DIY adventures. Do it yourself. Yeah, that's what it was. A 32-page pocket guide detailing various non-traditional ways of controlling insect infestation. Of the 1,024 methods listed, only 533 were proved to be safe for indoor use. Okay, let me just check how... Okay, there's not that many left. We were nearly there. It just feels like a long read, even though I only read this whole section for like 10 minutes. 5A, a heavily modified version of the Torah written in the original Biblical Hebrew. The book of Leviticus is missing. Deuteronomy has been cut down and merged with Numbers. Genesis has been heavily altered. The story of the world's origins includes the creation of wild men alongside with Adam and Eve, a far larger emphasis on Lamech, on his family, and the examination of the... There we go. Had to mute the mic real quick to sneeze. The story of the world's origins includes the creation of wild men, alongside with Adam and Eve, for a far larger emphasis on Lamech and his family and extermination of the wild men by the hands of the entity named Mithar. The story of Noah and his ark is almost 3 times as long. The Nephilim are described in a far greater detail and play an active role throughout the book. A copy of the book was sent to the Foundation Theological Research Department for further analysis. 4B3G, 1001 Years Akamon, features 1001 short stories, all which span exactly 1 year. Most stories follow the themes of captivity, torture, and needless physical experimentation. About 800 of the stories include a hint at an all-powerful male character named Akamon. Levi Akamon, perhaps? 8C, 8D, 8E, London's Many Secrets, Andrew D. Pole. Tours Guide to the City of London, published in 1899. 2 of the book's chapters deal with the secret underground complexes beneath the city. No such complexes were ever found, even when the following book exact directions to them. 360G, a single untitled limerick about cats and penguins. Reading the limerick induces gustatory symphastasia regarding the limerick. All readers have agreed that the limerick tastes like bacon-flavored ice cream. 297D, 253F, Young Alchemist's Guide to Chemicals by Nicola Flamel. Nicola Flamel. Illustrated in the 17th century style and written in the archaic French in a format apparently intended for 10 to 15-year-old children. My nose is itchy, I might sneeze again. It describes all chemical symbols in the chemicals associated with them, along with the Philosopher's Stone, and a universal solvent. Notably, mercury is not mentioned, and its place is taken by silicon. 10E, Pool Loop of Unknown. A single page with the palindromic phrase in words "alas, drown," written in the blue ink. When read aloud, the lungs of the reader will begin to fill with water until the reader drowns. Personnel have died, resulting in Dr. requesting SCP-132 1326 to reconsider the containment procedures with a response pending. 360F, How to do the coolest stunt and impress all your friends, by John Fresh McCoolest. Several pages filled with complex instructions for a single epic trick. All attempts at following instructions have failed due to the maneuvers that are thought to require the ability to manipulate time. Yeah, I mean, that's a bit impossible to do. Regardless of that fact, the end result is expected to be a front-side 360. 18G10A, Aframos Long Journey, Abridged Journal. Author's name is written in unknown script. The story is about two individuals traveling through a seemingly anomalous forest appears to be a parody of a larger work. And the last couple ones. 67E, 89Z, 24B, 2000 Things You Should Never Write, by Johanna Gregorio. Many pages filled with sentences and words from different known and unknown languages, enumerated in line from 1 to 2000. Reading such lines will cause no effect more than a faint dizziness in the subject, although writing them will provoke reactions that go from sudden decapitation to forgetting how to write at all. That is a bit extreme. At the time of the experiment, no word has affected any person other than the writer. However, due to the dangerous nature of these words, Dr. requests to reconsider the containment procedures of SCP-1326. Response is still pending. 42E, Esperanto translation of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Translation has numerous errors. 1A, repeated 76,000 times via robotic arm. The trainer offers unknown, a book documenting Prophet Jesus Christ, meaning Muhammad, and discussing theology while scaling a mountain. While no reason for the climb is established, it is implied that they met by coincidence despite historically living in different times. The mountain is civilized by people living in temples that function as cities that get strangely the higher up they are until a seemingly random structure inhabited by primates. At the peak, both men find a small wooden shack containing a single chair looking out the window. That sounds like an actual fun story to read, though. Muhammad, whoever, and Jesus Christ climbing up a mountain, and the cities, the higher they go, the crazier the cities get. That sounds like a fucking fantastic story. I would read that. 33A, Natural Shapes, Often Unknown, a guide to manipulating anomalous constructs onto normal three-dimensional shapes. Every section starts with the name of the baseline shape, followed by the instructions for paragraphs. 111B, 360D, repair and maintenance of an HP DeskJet Inc. 48 Whiskey printer. The HP Corporation. An in-depth guide explaining repairs of a non-existent printer model. The guide goes into nearly every conceivable malfunction, describes many procedures that would require tools unavailable to the average consumer, notably describes this repair as surgery. 28E, 28E, Fortnite Battle Royale Guidebook by Noob to Pro Gamer Guides, a pseudonym for an unknown author. The book contains several misspellings of point of interest names from the game Fortnite Battle Royale. And the last one, 58G, the same thing we do every night. The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Or the Art of Villainy by Dr. A book that it's a combination of philosophy and comedy, written from the point of view of a self-proclaimed mad scientist. Topic range from anarchist political belief, a comparison between advertising and the act of brainwashing, to how to defend a Victorian-era castle from intruders using traps. Whether the author is playing a character or not is left unclear. Perpetually published in 2023. This year, oh, we got the book somewhere, boys. And here we have, what is this? Instant report. Oh wait, I haven't even finished reading this. If SCP-1326 is brought within 1 meter of another book or written document, the arms on its cover will begin moving of their own accord in order to line up the lenses on the end of these arms with the document in question. Once aligned, the lenses will emit a blue light and scan the document for approximately 5 seconds, then return to the original position. Testing has confirmed that this behavior is a means for the SCP to acquire new information, which will be presented in readable format under an apparently random index designation. How SCP-1326 is capable of identifying sources of information is unknown, though staff theorize it may possess a certain degree of sentience. It's also possible that the book simply reacts to repeating symbols or patterns as it has been observed scanning Foundation staff, name tags, or groups of ceiling tiles. Though such scans have been noted to be shorter than scans performed on complete books or written papers, it is advised to provide SCP-1326 with new materials on a monthly basis as the object will become hostile if not fed regularly. See incident report for details. Now we have the incident report. Incident report on after 30 days without feeding, SCP-1326 opened up of its own accord and released a swarm of entities resembling large arachnids, henceforth -2. These beings acted as an organized unit and proceeded to gather all objects relevant to the data storage within the containment chamber, including loose documents, computers, and file cabinets, and bring them to SCP-1326, where they were data expunged and absorbed into the book. As the chamber was not locked at the time, -2 proceeded to... Why is it not locked? Any SCP that's inside the chamber, the door should always be locked. -2 proceeded to breach containment and continued this process with the surrounding officers, resulting in the loss of Foundation computers as well as Dr. who has been data expunged into SCP-1326 after attempting to destroy several instances of -2. After several minutes of activity, all instances of -2 returned to SCP-1326 containment chamber, at which point the latter opened automatically, revealing a dark corridor extending past the thickness of the book. Once all -2 had re-entered the book through this passageway, the latter closed and locked of its own accord. 10 minutes later, SCP-1326 reopened and expelled all items that had been stolen by -2. All documents had been stripped of writing, and all computer hardware had been reverted to the factory condition. The body of Dr. R was not recovered following the incident. And here we have remains of the -2 kill during incident. Entity rapidly decayed to skeletal form after being killed by Dr. R via blunt trauma. Image captured by researcher Anji. That is freaky. That came after you? Jesus. Addendum. Security footage of the -2 events revealed the entities make vocalization resembling human speech while active. Most of these vocalizations are incoherent, but analysis reveals some instances are vocalizing in known languages. The following is a transcript of some vocalization made by -2, translated into English if not already spoken as such. You have failed to pay tribute. The library does not accept unpaid tolls. Return your books on time. Heard during all -2 events. Don't damage library property. Heard while Dr. R... Oops, wrong button. Was under assault by -2. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Heard during a containment event after on-site staff had to feed SCP-1326 on schedule. Of note is the fact that this vocalization was made in a voice near identical to that of Dr. R. Oh, okay. It took over his voice. Interesting. Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot of reading to be done there. Man, I think the fact that it does weird alternative versions, or it kind of makes its own version of an existing work, and some of it just doesn't work in our world or doesn't make any sense. But the fact that if you don't give it anything to feed it, you have to always order a new book, a new magazine, and all that stuff. If you don't do that, these little creatures come after you. Shit's freaky, bro. I would hate that. Imagine you busy with another SCP that you just caught, and then day 30 passes and you just stay on your computer wait, let me just drink real quick. Yeah, you just stay on your computer just going at oh no. You know what I mean? You just remember that very moment, and then you look into you dash towards the chamber and you look in, you just see those little creatures you're like, fuck, we forgot to feed this guy. I would hate that. That would be so stressful to deal with.